The added on instruments at that point could be special guests that were well known around the world, you know. And I think with Thomas Dolby, we proved that on Foreigner 4. I think when we got some of the basic tracks down and we had talked about what we thought the track needed to make it kind of different and left of center a little bit, you know, and we wanted people who were creative and didn't need to be coached on what to play. They would learn the song and cut loose. And Thomas was perfectly the guy for that. He could take direction too, which was great. He had no ego about his playing, but when we told him what we'd like, and after that, do what you like, we didn't have to tell him twice. It was pretty awesome to hear him play. I mean, when he strips a little bit away of the artsy stuff, he can rock. He had somewhat of a reputation already, and I remember reading in interviews from rock magazines that he had done how he really slammed the basic rock world in America and the bands that were up and coming and becoming very big in stature in the States as I don't know, I can't remember what words he used, but he wasn't very complimentary. And then when Mutt said he wanted to call him to see if he'd play on the album, I thought to myself, don't waste your time. You know, he wouldn't even give us a listen. And he called Thomas and told Thomas not to say anything about anything. Let me just send you the tape and see if you're interested in being a part of it. And he sent back a note to Mutt saying that he did want to be a part of it and said some ideas, which we all liked. And then he flew from England to New York and he stayed about 3 or 4 days. He was supposed to play on one song. I think he ended up playing on 3 or 4. And between Urgent and Jukebox Hero and Waiting for a Girl, my goodness.
So long, I've been looking too hard, I've been waiting too long. Sometimes I don't know what I will find. I only know it's a matter of time. When you love someone, when you love someone, it feels so right, so warm and true. I need to know if you feel it too.
I remember being in Mick's little music room in his apartment, and he played me on a cassette. You know, the opening piano line. And I was looking at him like, whoa, what's this, you know? And then he started singing, so long, I've been looking too hard, I've been waiting too long, you know, and that's all he had. And I thought, wow, I says, this has incredible potential, Mick. So we worked on it long and hard. It was not an easy song to put together because it could have gone so many ways. You know, it could have ended up very smooth and I don't know what the word is, but this song had a lot of angst to it also. And as we progressed writing the song, the stronger it got. And I remember when we finished recording it, we played it for Ahmet Ertegun, the chairman of WIA, and he flipped out. He loved it, and it was a strong single. I think it got to number 2 in the charts, and it was kept out of the number 1 spot by Olivia Newton-John's "Let's Get Physical." That song stayed number 1 for 12 weeks, and we were number 2 for 12 weeks. And finally, her song fell off the charts, off of the number 1 spot, and we were like, all right. She fell to number 2, and we fell to number 3, and somebody else had number 1. So we were the longest longest running number 2 song in the history of rock.
Maybe I'm wrong. Won't you tell me if I'm coming on too strong? This heart of mine has been hurt before. This time I wanna be sure. I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. I've been waiting for a girl like you.
Well, I remember I had some rough vocals that were okay, but I went in fairly early, about 9:30 in the morning, and Mick and Mutt were in there all set up, ready to go. So they began playing the intro to the song, and I was all ready. And as the intro started, the door where you went to the studio opened, and this beautiful dark-haired girl, not dressed real like she was going out or anything, but dressed very nicely, came into the control room and walked down the 3 stairs, and right in front of the board there was a sofa, so guests could sit there and listen. So she sat there as I sang the song, and she had a very nice look on her face, and every now and then there'd be just a little hint of a smile, and then it wouldn't go back to serious, it would just go back to attentive, And as I was singing the last out choruses and the ad-libs at the end, she slowly got up, she smiled at me, a nice big smile, and turned around and walked up the 3 stairs and left. And when I was finished with the song, Mick and Mutt said, "Great job, though, really great job." And I says, who was that? And I didn't say any more. I went into the control room, and I says, "Who was that attractive young woman that came in and sat down?" And they looked at each other, and they looked at me, and they said, "What are you talking about?" I says, "You didn't see her? She came in just before I started singing and walked down the 3 steps and sat on the sofa and gave me all the attention in the world while I was singing, and every now and then just a hint of a smile. And when the out choruses came, she got up, she gave me a big smile, and walked out the door. You didn't see her?" "We didn't see anything. We were looking at the levels and watching you and this and that." I says, "Oh, okay." And I thought to myself, pretty sly, you guys, pretty sly. So I think they sent her in there to get the most out of me. So I would give the most emotion, give the best performance. And to this day, Mick has never admitted it. And, I could still leave it as a big mystery, but knowing Mick and Mutt the way I did, I think they put that together for me. Nice job, guys.
You're so good. When we make love, it's understood. It's more than a touch or a word we say. Only in dreams could it be this way. When you love someone, yeah, I really love someone. Now I know it's right from the moment I wake up till deep in the night.
It was out of character. It wasn't that we were so averse to ballads, but at that time there were a lot of rock bands who had big hits with ballads, and at some point they didn't focus on the rock hits anymore. They were just writing ballads, and that kind of disgusted me. And so after Waiting for a Girl Like You, I mean, there obviously the rest of Foreigner 4 was pretty powerful. And when we moved on after touring for a year and a half on Foreigner 4, we started working on Agent Provocateur. And the first song that Mick showed me when we started working in his little studio again was I Want to Know What Love Is. And it was beautiful. And I told him how potentially great the song is. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh no, not that. And sure enough, I think there were some good songs on Agent Provocateur. I don't think it was as strong as 404, but on that album, I think Mick became totally turned on by the synthesizers and was buying this synthesizer and that synthesizer and bringing it in his little music room and working on ideas and this and that. And so, of course, when we did I Want to Know What Love Is, I think Thomas Dolby helped us out again on that. And it's an awesome song, and it was our first #1 song. After 4 albums, it was on our 5th album, and we finally made it #1. It was #1 around the world. It's a great song. It's a great honor. But the rest of the album didn't deliver the rock edge that we were noted for and popular for. And as we played songs from that album, I could tell that the songs we played from that album, the applause on it was very, very reserved and half-baked. And for I Want to Know What Love Is, it was crazy, of course, which made me happy. But the reserved applause for the other rock songs made me very worried that we were losing our rock audience. And after the next album, it was more of the same. And it was difficult to, you would get the same great response for the early rock songs in the first 2 or 3 albums, but after 404, there wasn't much in the way of rock songs to play. The ballads led the way after that, and that's not the kind of band I wanted to be in.